Don't forget to tip your bartender.
If you're hearing our voices, it means it's time for It's This Meets That, the podcast where we watch the worst movies from trailer to end credits, scene by scene, so you don't have to, but maybe you should, in parentheses. I'm Russ.
I'm Jared.
Mm-hmm. And we're back with part 2.
Oh, yeah. Part 2.
Yeah. Beep, beep, beep.
Guess what? Special part 2 feature.
Oh.
Violin facts. You're going to get them.
Boom, 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 boom. I love it. New segment for part 2. New segment.
That's right.
For part 2.
Random facts with Jared.
Random facts with Jared. You know what? We can call them the facts of life with Jared.
Let's see what you did there, Natalie.
Natalie, you crazy lady, you
dirty dog.
You dirty dog. Okay, so we're back with part 2 breakdown of A Nice Girl Like Such. You?
Like you, yeah.
Like you. 2020. It's not good. Don't recommend wasting your time with this, even for an hour and a half. Go do something else, mow the lawn, go for a walk, go for a run, go for a bike ride, listen to our episode twice.
Yeah, whatever you want.
Spend time with loved ones for an hour and a half. That old person in your life, go hang out with them for an hour and a half. They're going to love you for it. They need that.
That's right.
Go visit old people. Spend time with old people.
Speaking of old things.
I love old things. That's me.
That's right. Well, not quite as old as the oldest known violin, which was made by Andrea Amati
in
back in the
1423.
mid 1500s.
I was
a little younger.
Well,
yeah.
Price is Right rules. I got it.
But can you imagine playing a 500-year-old violin?
No.
All right. Well,
price sounds like shit.
Yeah, you got to change the strings.
Price sounds like horse shit. Look at me. I'm just bringing everything together. You know,
we're on fire.
I had a glass of water and now I feel like I can rule the world right now.
Got to stay hydrated. Listeners, hydro homies.
Hydro.
Yeah, stay hydrated.
So where did we leave off? We crossed off number 6 on our list, which was
the
sex seminars. Nope. Sex seminar. Yeah, we forgot.
Right.
That's right. It's been 2 days.
This movie.
It's been 2 days. So we're doing a scene from the trailer, walk and talk in the rain with Priscilla here, Facts of Life, Natalie, and it's just kind of like a recap of like where our character is. She's like self-confidence kind of thing going on here, right? She talks about Grant, not sure if he's out of her league.
Yep.
Hey, we say
this is when we get the big setup though for Act 2 and Act 3, right? The audition.
For Phil's harmonic.
And then this is also, they do this a bunch too now, where we have to date everything. Right. We are 5 weeks away from the audition.
Hey,
Phil's harmonic.
Phil's harmonic. You got to put, if you want to put a little tension in a scene, just put time on it.
That's right.
But yeah, so she's having like self-confidence things going on here, talking about Grant, some doubts there. And
got a date on Saturday.
Yeah, date on Saturday. Well, and she gets tickets to some sexpert from.
That's right.
I'm going to call her Natalie. Priscilla.
Yep. Dr. Becker, which I was like,
Dr.
good tie-in with Saw, where had that person from the show Becker, Amanda.
Oh.
So good promo for our last episodes. See what I'm doing here? Here?
It's This Meets That. That's what
also
we do
a doctor.
Here. Yeah, that's
Dr. Becker.
That's right. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But Ted Danson, much better than this Dr. Becker.
Right. Yes. And we get the joke from the trailer about getting back on the bike, and it's just like a pogo stick. Ha 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 ha. And we laugh for an extra long time. Ha ha ha.
Yeah. And Priscilla's like, and then that's the other thing I don't like about this movie. Sometimes it gets like weirdly serious. She's like, actually, that seminar was great for me. Like Stan and I have a sex life again. Like, we're so happy now.
Like what?
You're like,
okay.
Oh. All right. Well, next scene.
So we cut to dinner. And there's something about oysters being a third date.
A third date food, right?
Is it? No. You can have oysters when. Oh, you can't. Oh, you can now. You're good, right?
I can now.
Yeah, you can now. That's right. You've been able to have oysters for a long time.
10 years almost. Yeah.
Oh God, listeners, going out with Jared was so tough. Like, can't eat peanut butter and oysters. Like, those are like my favorite foods. Like, I literally, those are my favorite foods. I was like, the first time our friend date we went on, I was like, hey man, you want to get some peanut butter and oysters? And he's like,
that's right.
I was like, dude,
no can do's, Bill, baby.
This isn't gonna last. I don't know how this is gonna work out. Like, Literally what I eat for
Yeah.
dinner.
Listeners, like it's kind of you should see it. It's a little gross. Like he does he makes like a little peanut butter
Oh, it's
what
so
do you call it?
good.
Like a little ball. It's kind of like a little ball. Then he puts a little
Yeah.
divot in it
Yep.
and then drops an oyster right in,
Right in. Yeah. On the
closes up the peanut butter ball with some
Yep.
more peanut butter,
Yep.
and then
Yeah.
just pops the whole thing.
Ah, oyster butter.
Yeah,
Beauty.
he's a sicko.
Yeah. Give it a shot, and then you tell me if it's not good.
Yeah, unless you're allergic to peanuts like me, then don't.
Or shellfish. Don't.
Right.
Yeah. Don't do that. That would be a death ball for Jared.
That's right. That's right.
And every 5 years, I always offer him one. And I'm like, oh, right. Duh.
Duh.
Duh. This could kill you,
I had a
buddy.
nickel. The hits keep coming.
I'm like, oh, I keep thinking you're a normal person. Like, oh, no, he's allergic to peanuts. No,
Nope,
that
I'm a
sucks.
freak.
Yeah, you're a freak. Just be yourself. You're not a freak, listener. If you're allergic to peanut butter,
That's right.
you're fine.
Normal.
You're normal. It's okay. Okay, anyway,
Just like Lucy Hale.
Lucy. Oh my God. So we're at dinner here. I love how I thought it was a Budweiser. What did I say it was? No, I said it was a Sam Adams he was drinking in the trailer.
Yeah.
It's a Blue Moon. But the fun part about it,
Even worse.
the fun part about it, I don't know why they did this. Maybe they were hoping to get sponsored by Blue Moon or something.
Yeah.
But did you notice when
he puts it down and turns
he puts
the
it
label?
down and the label's like facing the camera and it's like, and they had to blank out the Blue Moon part. Like, what are you doing? Just have just a bottle of
A lot of ways to do this.
pour it in a goddamn glass.
That would be one of the ways.
Like problem solved. Like, why are you doing this?
The refreshing taste of Blue Moon. I mean, the refreshing taste of womp, 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 womp.
Blue Moon. Yes, Blue Moon. Yes, that's it.
Moo Bloon.
That's right. Blue Boon.
Yep. Terrible.
Okay. Yeah.
So they do the whole from the trailer, like, tell me everything about you. I want to know stuff. She wants to interrogate him. And he's like, oh, geez, you want to see my tax returns? And she's like, what? No, I just wanted to ask you about your favorite book. And he's like, well, my last girlfriend asked for my tax returns. And I thought it was a joke, but it wasn't a joke. Did you miss all that? Okay.
I was still stuck on the Blue Moon label in the bottle.
Oh, fair enough. You just couldn't focus on anything that was
I couldn't
happening.
focus on anything. I was like, why'd they do this? I was like, why did they choose to do this? What are you doing?
No, it's like you're lucky. You did the right thing because the scene's awkward and silly. He's like, wait, your last girlfriend asked for tax returns? I'm sure she was a supermodel. He's like, oh, she was a model. Yes. Super. No, not Harvard material. And you're like, I hate this.
What is going on? And
that's when he makes all the corny jokes of like, being well kept. She's like, being well kept doesn't apply to me. And he's like, and yet you seem to be kept very well.
Like,
it's not funny.
Just be a normal person. Stop being. What are you doing? Just be a normal. Ask questions and listen. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, it's so frustrating. Stick with what's your favorite book. That's a good question.
And let them talk.
Right.
Done.
But instead, they both say their favorite books at the same time, and they are the same favorite books, but in reverse order.
Reverse. Yeah, they didn't say
try to
correctly.
make it to a joke. Yeah.
Yeah, it was all bad. It's all from the trailer. It's an extended version of the trailer stuff. It's just like really bad dialogue. It's just terrible dialogue that doesn't sound good, and it's all just terrible.
Yep.
This is, but I will bring up. So this is when we get one of the two random tattoos on our Leonidas Gulaptis here on his right forearm. I was so distracted by the beer bottle, and then I saw the forearm. He's got a cross tattoo on his right forearm.
Interesting.
Lucy. First,
Lucy.
you're dating a guy with a peace sign on his back, which that's a safety tip, right?
That seems worse, right?
That right? But yeah, which is where is it the peace sign or the cross in the forearm? Cross in the forearm? Come on.
Yeah, I don't like it, but I have a less of a problem with it than peace sign on the middle of your back.
The peace sign is like come on, grow up. Like you got that when you were 15 and at a Fish concert, and you're like, whoops.
Right.
But like the cross in the forearm, it's like, he's serious.
A little tacky. Yeah.
It's common sense. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
or do if you want.
If you're, I guess I don't give a shit, but just know you will be judged by the Lord.
Speaking of things that that we don't give a shit about, that's right. The Lord will judge you.
Will judge you.
Especially for screwing up the difference between a fiddle and a violin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just kidding. There really isn't one. It's the same. And a classic violin joke is the difference between a violin and a fiddle is all in the attitude.
So it could have just been called Violinist on the Roof.
That's right. Yep. Not as catchy.
Not as catchy. Violinist on the Roof. Ah, man. Yeah, and there's another thing to take out of that the dinner scene, whatever. I think don't they talk about her sex list or something, to-do list she's got? And
again, very briefly, because he had already discovered it at the store. So it's like
right. Oh, and she says, she's like, oh, I'm not that kind of girl, whatever. I was like,
right.
You can be whatever kind. Like, why do you have to? Don't shame people for what they're into.
Frustrating. Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna shame him for having a cross tattoo on his forearm. Don't do that. Just believe. You know, you don't. The tattoo doesn't do anything. You know, just believe. Have faith.
Reaffirms your belief. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. But then we cut to the Dr. Becker show without Ted Danson. So not as good.
The Sexpert show. And this is also super weird and awkward moment. So basically she goes to the show with Grant. They both go and they're like having a good time. And
she's immediately wicked judgy. She's like, oh, that hot woman at the piano is a doctor? You know, yeah, anyone can be a doctor.
Oh, Yale PhD? Like, settle down. Like,
yeah, it's no Harvard.
Am I right?
So frustrating.
So they sit down, and then she immediately gets picked on by this expert there, and then they bring out like a psychic, which now
I meant to look up. that was an accent, right? Like she was doing like a bad accent.
Yeah, like a bad was it Eastern European, Russian, Ukrainian, or what, I don't know, like somewhere. Yeah,
like Madame Swarlovska.
So, yeah, Russian accent. And she immediately picks on Lucy and is just like, oh, your sex life, it looks gray. You know?
Yeah, your aura is gray. And like for most people, auras are really pretty, but yours is just gray.
And then she just gets publicly shamed because they bring her up on stage, and then she's just like basically shitting on her and her sex life and being like, you're not experienced. You have no experience.
Yeah, and it was weird because like this one was one where the background characters are just like laughing the whole time.
I was like, you're at like a sexpert show here, like where you're talking about
it's supposed to be open and
you shouldn't supportive. Be laughing at someone's like, you know, like
crazy.
Like get out of here.
I like to think that it was just people who have bad taste in comedy, but like laughing, like it was just like the boom guy like laughing and it got picked up on the mic. Like, good one.
Her Russian accent's really good.
You really nailed her.
So basically they just dig into her sex life and how lame it is. And then there's a very long bit about you have big booms, you know how big booms, and like she's going on about basically using different analogies and phrases, quote unquote funny ones, for orgasm.
Yeah, crotch magic, she says also a few times, which I was like, stop saying crotch magic.
And then she like literally looks at Grant and is like, that guy, well, he'll give you big booms. So
yeah,
it's in the cards. If it's in the cards, it's in the cards. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can cross off number 7, consult a sexpert.
Yep. Then we get a nice streetlight transition.
We're back at home at night. We have an awkward good night at the doorstep.
It's so
here.
awkward.
I think after like a third date of this much awkwardness, you'd be like, this isn't going to work out.
This is their first date?
Oh, first date, but like third encounter, and it's always been awkward. Sex door, in the bathroom.
Exactly.
And they're always awkward. So it's like, if it's that awkward, it ain't meant to be.
It's not meant to be. Yeah. Take it from us.
That's what Jared and I always say. If it's that awkward, it ain't meant to be.
And so like Lucy apologizes a bunch, and he's like, I'm not sorry, we had a good time. And then he goes in to kiss her and she ducks.
She's going to get her keys.
Oh, she was going to get her keys. I thought she just ducked.
Yeah.
And so he like kisses the top of her head, and then they're like, well, good night, see you later.
And they both just like exit stage left and right.
Yep. Okay. The next day.
So we're at the store and we get the crew, Lucy,
Paul,
Priscilla. Yep. And they're catching up and figuring out why Lucy why she can't see the deal.
Right.
And then there's this whole bit
you're
about
be alone forever, have cats, classic trope.
It's just more supposedly funny stuff. And then we go on about she goes on about these maternity pants. She's like, oh, you know those jeans that make my ass look great? And she's like, boom, right here, maternity pants. And they're like, oh, which is a setup for a joke or setup for
half the plot later.
Yeah. In about 2 minutes. So
Yep.
And then she's home and she's practicing with the gang here, right?
The quartet, right? While they're watching porn on mute on the TV.
Because she needs to cross off 25 movies. So,
right. Which that's a lot of porn to commit to.
25 movies. I mean, to watch the entire movie, like you don't
complete films.
No one watches an entire porn film.
No.
You watch like 2-3 minutes at a time, and then that's it, right? That's how I watch them.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Like normal people.
You get in, you get out. That's what you do with porn. You don't stick around and hang out and like listen to what's going on.
Nope, she's lingering.
So don't linger in porn, okay? Just don't linger in it.
But her friends are all remarking they've never heard her play this well. Like she's crushing it.
Yeah,
they're like,
she's happy.
Okay, there's only 30 days till the audition now. Which
till Phil's harmonic.
It's only been a week. Oh my God. Since the last time we did this. But then Grant calls. Big phone call, right?
Big phone call. And they have a bit about like answering the phone. You're an adult. Answer the phone. Just answer the phone. And then there's another random tattoo I spotted on his arm, on his other arm.
Oh.
Bottom arm. When they cut to him, he's got a tattoo. It's 7/7/14.
What does that mean?
July 7th, 2014. I don't know. Is it a date or is it a passage from the Bible? Maybe. Yeah, look it up. I don't know. Let's look it up. I'm
looking it up.
And I'm assuming this is Leonidas Gulaptis like actual tattoos. I assume they didn't like put those
it's
on.
Probably the spiral galaxy in the constellation Pisces. I bet NGC 7714.
Is that what it is?
What it is?
Okay. Yeah. So Greek.
So Greek. Yeah, he's totally a Pisces.
Yeah, red flags.
Yeah. It is also a psalm, apparently. You are the God who performs miracles, something or other about miracles, and that seems silly.
Yeah, red flags. Yeah, red flags. We don't red flags. Mm-hmm. Don't have that tattoo. Don't do that. Yeah, I mean, do it, but just know that the Lord's judging you. So
that's right, harshly. But we get a classic little slapsticky Paul accidentally turns on the porn volume and they're like, whoa. Like, you watching porn over there? And she's like, no. And he's like, I know it's last minute, but and she's like, I don't care. Whatever it is, let's do it.
And then he asked her out. And he's like, hey, let's go out.
So then cut to bedroom montage.
Yeah, they're making out. She's very frantic. They're making out and it's very aggressive and it's frantic. And it's like, whoa. Take a deep breath. Let's slow down here.
Naked. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Let's just slow down. And then she's about to use the line. She's about to cross off number 12, use the hot throbbing. And she shakes it off and is like, no. So
yeah. And he's like, wait, what? No, you said no. And she's like, no, yes, no. And because this movie sucks so hard, we then cut to an outside transition with fireworks because that kind of movie. Just a nightmare.
Absolute nightmare.
So boring.
Okay, so then we're back to the home during the day. Grant's getting dressed and he's looking around. He's like seeing all the sex toys everywhere, dildos on display. Whoa. Like, by the way, if you got dildos, don't put them on display. Like, I don't know, right? I guess you can.
I mean, you don't have to like hide stuff. Yeah, do whatever you want. Who cares?
Do whatever you want. Just know the Lord's gonna be judging you.
That's right. Yep, he's watching you.
I'll find you. And then he finds the maternity pants for 2, and he's like, "Whoa!" He gets freaked out, and he's like, "She's into sex stuff, and she's preggers. I'm out of here." Which, right?
I guess
that's the adult thing to do is just to pack your bags and get out of town without having a conversation.
While she's sleeping. Yeah. But then she wakes up and he's like, oh, sorry. I was going to bail. I didn't mean to wake you up. And he's like, kisses her on the cheek and he's like, well, I'll call you. Don't call me.
I think what pisses me off the most about this movie is like, no one's acting like adults here. Like, you're all adults. Right. Like, this is like, if you're all like high school kids, then sure, this makes sense. But like,
nope, they're all in their 30s. Yep.
So yeah, he takes off, and then she's looking at her room. She's like, "Oh no, the sex doll, the dildos.
What have I become?
What have I become? I've become the monster that I've created, and the Lord is looking upon me." That's right. and she's like, "Oh no!" And she runs out to go catch him, and she's like, "Hey, so what? Oh, by the way, do you know this movie's rated R?"
I'm not shocked, I guess, even though it definitely could have gotten away with PG-13.
Yeah, and she drops one F-bomb here, and she's like, "So I watch porn, big deal." And I was like, You get one, right, for PG-13. They don't say the F-bomb ever again. I'm like, there's nothing else. Nope. There's nothing in this movie that should be, I don't know why this is rated R. Like,
yeah, no, there's no real nudity.
I feel like the MPA was kind of like, it was PG-13. And they're like, no, let's make it rated R because we want to make it seem edgy. It's like, no.
Yeah, there's please give us an R rating.
So then she, as she says this line, he's driving away. Neighbor, Mr. Glasson over there, whatever. He's just like,
I love the neighbor. Yeah.
He's like, I don't care as long as it's consensual, no judgment.
That's the ITMT motto.
But then he says, but the Lord is watching. So
that's the other ITMT motto.
The Lord is watching. That's gonna be on a shirt. We should get that on a shirt.
Yep, that'll be on a shirt. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll sell big down in the South. The Lord is watching.
Where most of our listeners are. Yeah.
Okay, so then we're back in the house and she's
like a cleaning rampage, right?
Yeah, she's just like throwing all the sex toy stuff and deflates the sex doll, whatever.
Now she's super sad.
Yeah,
and then we get a long montage, right? Streetlight transition into
time passing montage, and
making
she's
more
having
lists,
having coffee, driving her car,
violin
at an event,
driving by a cemetery, thinking about being alone,
buying meat.
Buying meat,
marking your calendar about Phil's harmonic.
21 days left.
Almost getting into a car accident. Just pay attention. Yeah, everyone out there, just pay attention.
And she sucks at violin now, by the way.
Yeah,
that's part of this montage too.
Right, she's just terrible at it. She's crossing off
only
dates in the
14
calendar.
days left.
I know, 14 days. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What's a girl gonna do? No Grant. It's been a couple weeks now. No calls. No nothing. No texts.
Speaking of violins, did you know that violinist Niccolo Paganini was known for incredible ability to play his violin upside down? And he was so good at violin that apparently common belief in Italy was that he made a deal with the devil.
I was just going to say, that boy's got the devil in his hands.
Because the Lord is watching you.
That's right. Oh man. Okay. So, well, that's good. That's fun. That's good to know.
It's kind of, yeah.
All right.
Listen, do you like the new facts?
I personally, I love this. I think it's a great addition to part 2 here,
Yeah, I think so too.
All right. So we're at lunch, and this is, this scene, I don't understand this scene.
Cut. I mean, we're not at Amelia right yet, but this is an easy one to cut.
And like, who is this other character? Who is this person they introduce? I'm like, who is this? Why are they kind of like very important right now? So they have, so three of the four, the quartet there is hanging out. So we have Nessa, Lucy, and Paul. And I think Paul's doing like, they're at like a lunch before an event that Paul's speaking at or something like that. I think.
Something like that. Yeah.
And the whole setup is like, I bring them around because they pretend like to know me and like me. And that's how I meet women or something. Like that's kind of like his shtick.
Right.
But then there's like this other woman that's there. I don't know who she is. I don't know what.
No one does. They don't explain it.
Yeah. And she just keeps talking about pretentious.
She's just like a foil there to be like, only talk about her boyfriend.
Right. And that upsets Lucy because Lucy doesn't have a boyfriend and, whatever, she lost Grant, whatever. And so this woman's just like going on about her boyfriend. She's very pretentious and like how her boyfriend's rich, boyfriend. And Lucy has this moment of like,
blows up.
Yeah.
Maybe you should get a shirt that says I have a boyfriend, which listeners, shirt coming soon.
Shirt coming soon. Yeah, that'll solve so many problems.
That's right. I have a boyfriend.
Women, we are here for you. Ladies, we are here to help you. So
that's right.
AT&T, I have a boyfriend.
And then that character never comes back again. The Lord is watching. That's right.
The Lord is watching.
It's on the back.
Yeah, I have a boyfriend. The Lord is watching.
That's right.
So then, this character never comes back, and then that's it. And she's and she's like, I was kind of hoping she's like, oh, here's my boyfriend now. I was kind of hoping it was gonna be Jeff. That's what I was gonna. Yeah, that's what I thought would have been like a nice little.
It would have been fun,
but no, it's not.
Nope, doesn't matter. Yeah.
So we're back home and we're practicing. She's not doing very good fiddling.
Awful.
Yeah, she's not. Yeah. She's fiddling around. It's not good. More days
aggressively waving a marker around at the calendar.
Calendar time. It's all a construct.
Time is passing. We must be closer.
And then she's out in the garage, and
she has an idea. She's like, wait a second. maybe.
She pops
I'm
in
bad now.
she pops in a DVD of some porn.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "What am I doing?" Close the laptop, and I guess it's like her all is lost moment.
Yep. Got a little crisis happening.
Yeah.
But
So
then she goes to the audition.
yeah. So 14 days have gone by really quick. 2 weeks later, and we're at Phil's harmonic audition, and it goes on and on and on. It's a very long audition.
Yep. It's another music video because the Rydell boys like a good music video.
Yeah. Hey, maybe that's what they should do. That's their lane. That's the lane they should be in, is making music videos. Music videos still happen.
Short.
Right?
So short. Yeah.
Right?
Do that.
Short.
Keep it tight.
Keep it tight. And it goes on, and the lights kick on, and it's one of the guy in the middle. He's a judge. He's a douchebag, and he's just like, "Thank you. We'll be in touch."
Yep. Yep. Which, speaking of douches,
well, I'm going to wrap that scene up real quick, though.
Okay, go for it.
So she leaves the Philharmonic audition there, and then there's like this weird transition of her leaving a message for someone on a phone, like her friend, not Nessa, but Priscilla. Just being like, I went to the audition.
It went great.
Yeah. Why?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yep. She's like, I can finally cross something off my list. Like the audition went great.
Yeah.
I was just going to talk about the famous Stradivarius violin, right?
Oh, yes.
Everyone's heard of a Stradivarius.
We all know Strada.
Made by Antonio Stradivari. In the 17th and 18th centuries, considered some of the finest violins in the world. However, in modern blind tests, most people can't distinguish between the sound of a Stradivarius and basically any other violin.
He's rolling in his Italian grave right now. You kidding me?
Right.
Oh, baby.
So, listeners, you don't have to play a super fancy violin to sound great. You could play some shitty violin and sound great too.
It's probably. It comes down, it's not the instrument, it's the player, just be good. Just be good and play with heart. Play with heart and intention. And it doesn't matter what you're using. It could be $1,000 guitar. It could be a $10 guitar. It doesn't matter.
That's right. If you're good, you're going to be good. If you stink, you're going to be stink.
You're going to stink and go find another job. So
that's right. Shout out to best friend of the pod, my sister, who tried to learn violin.
But immediately recognized the lane she needed to be in. I mean,
that's right.
That's right.
That's right. It's important.
It's important. So then we cut to Paul getting acupuncture or something.
Yep.
Okay.
For some reason.
So he's getting acupuncture, and basically this whole scene is just Jeff.
Just an exposition scene.
And Jeff invited them to the quartet here to perform at his wedding.
Yep, which is pretty messed up.
Yeah, I don't think that's something you do.
No, don't invite your ex to perform at your wedding.
Even if you're friends, I don't think that's not a move. That's not.
Yeah,
it's uncouth. Is that a word? Did I use that word correctly there?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
In poor taste.
In poor taste. Yeah.
Yeah. But they do a ton of exposition of the scene, right? He's like, he's talking about how much rejection hurts, and Paul's like, "Oh yeah, my type these days is willing." You're like, ew.
He's just going through. He's just going on about his sad sex life, which is important for the next scenes from.
Because he's like, well, I got to go to Vegas, and she's like, "Oh, you're going to Vegas? I need to finish my list anyway. I'm going to go with you." And he's like, "Well, Grant's going to be there," and she's like, "Even better. Whatever. Screw that guy. I got to go do stuff this will be better than the strip club, I promise."
Yeah.
Like, I don't think so.
I don't think so. So he is going for a bachelor party out there. Is it, wait, whose bachelor party is it for? Does it matter?
Doesn't matter. Nope.
Okay. I was like, is it for Jeff's wedding? No, that can't be right. Okay.
Just a random bachelor party.
Okay. So we got a travel montage, right? We're on a plane. Sinatra. You got Vegas, baby. Casinos. Come on down. It's Vegas, baby. Driving in a desert. So they weren't driving to Utah, which we said in the trailer trash. They're driving to Vegas.
Right, which makes more sense, probably.
Yeah. Desert, mountains. Yeah.
Well, they're driving outside of Vegas.
That's right.
The Bunny Ranch brothel, brought to you by the Bunny Ranch Brothel.
Yes.
A real place.
That'd be amazing if they actually sponsored us.
Yeah. Would it?
I don't know. The Lord's watching. I don't know. The Lord. They want to pay us. It doesn't matter.
That's right. Yeah, I don't care who the sponsor.
Give us money and give us shit. I don't actually believe in your product. Just give us money. Yeah. All right. So
brought to you by Massachusetts Highway Patrol.
So we're at the Honey Bunny Ranch here. we're sitting in the car, Lucy and Paul, and she's like, "Hey, this is two things. I can scratch something off my list, and you need to get laid, basically." And
Yep.
two birds
He's
with
like,
one stone.
not like this.
And then she quantifies it by saying, like, "Well, how much money do you spend paying for dinner, and your expectations to have
Which,
sex?"
super messed up.
Yeah, that's not that's not how you
That's not
should.
how it works.
Yeah, it's not how that works.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, okay. Well, that's not a bad point."
Yeah. But then he's like, well, why don't you just go do it yourself? And she's like, I already called and asked, and they don't service women here. Single
Right.
women.
Right.
And he was like, all right, well, I guess let's go in together. And they do.
Yeah. And then Paul's doing this weird random like Southern accent.
It's pretty funny.
It's like,
I told you there'd be other normal people here, honey.
it was,
I love it.
it was probably like the funniest thing in the movie. It was
Yes.
actually, I can tell you because I've seen the entire movie.
Yeah. Very ITMT.
Yes. Yeah. Very, very much so. Right in our wheelhouse. And then the ladies come down, and there's Paul chickens out, and he's like, I'm out of here. I can't do this. And he's like, I got to go use the bathroom.
For some reason, there's like a bunch of other guys that are all like sitting around, and this is like a communal thing. And
Yeah. There's like
and the other guys are really creepy.
yeah, creepy foreign guy too. He's like, oh, your boyfriend? He's, oh, that's not my boyfriend. I was like, why is this conversation happening?
How
And
much for the women?
by the way, if you're foreign, don't be creepy. That's,
That's right. We've been in 108 countries.
yeah. So hear us now.
So we know. Don't
Yeah,
be creeps.
Yeah, hear us now. Listen to us later. Don't be creeps.
That's right.
Common sense. A lot of common sense tips in this one.
Yep.
And then Lucy, she goes to apply to be a girl, and the woman's like, "You?
Yeah. She literally just gets laughed out of the room.
Be gone." And we're back in the car, and we recap with some jokes, and then we cross off.
She's like, well, I didn't get the job.
And then we cross off number 8, visit a brothel.
Yep. Then we have another Vegas transition, little casino, fun time. And Paul's like, why don't you just come to the bachelor party? Which is like, don't
audio.
do that.
Like terrible audio again here. It was like so weird. Yeah.
Agreed.
And they basically split up and again exit stage left and right.
Yeah. She's like, I just want a quiet bar and a cocktail. And instead we cut to her doing shots in a cowboy hat with a bunch of like
Harvard bros.
college guys. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll get the Harvard shirt on. Kiss me, I'm from Harvard or something like that, right?
Yep.
Oh, kiss me, I'm Ivy League or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
And she's texting back and forth with Paul, and
they invite her up to do some karaoke. And she's like, I don't sing. And they're like, oh, what do you do? And she's like, I'm a violinist. And he's like, oh, here's a violin.
This is Nicky Rydell, by the way. This is our boy.
Exactly.
One of our boys here. He's the lead singer of this band.
This would never happen in real life.
No. Oh, you play the violin? Oh, hey, girl, we got a violin right here.
Yeah, there's 5 people here. What do you got to lose?
I love how he says, it's an original song.
Yeah.
Settle down, Nick Rydell. Settle down. Kia G, watch me for the changes and, try to keep up. Like, all right, dude.
Yeah, but the nerds are pumped that she's with. They're like, yeah, go. We just met you. And then they do a song. And it's
the
like
entire
the whole
song.
Yeah, it's a music video.
3 to 4 minute long song.
Yep. She gets a little more confident as they go on, and she's having a good time. It takes 1,000 years, and that's when Grant walks in.
But it's, and this is the moment when I wrote down. I was like, "This feels like the director, like this is like friends of the director or something." He's like he's throwing him a bone and being like, "Hey, play, have your band play in like in my movie." I was like, "Oh no, it's the director."
It's the director. Yep.
Dude.
Yeah. And I love like they're like, anybody else have any hidden talents out there? Like, what? Like, this is how any of this works. But then we cut to sitting at the bar with Grant, and she's like, shouldn't you be at the bachelor party? And he's like, well, no, Paul showed me the picture of you with the Harvard bros, and I recognized the bar, and so I wanted to show up and apologize for disappearing and getting out of your life. And like, he like tries to explain himself. She's not having it. There's a whole bunch of back and forth.
It's stupid. It's done. And he basically goes on the old, take me back speech,
Right.
I'm
like,
sorry.
I realized how much I liked you. Yeah.
And then he was like, what's scary? And she's like, what's scary about me? And she's like, well, for starters, you're obsessed with sex. Which, okay. And then
she talks about how she has something to prove to herself and that she needs to prove that she's enough. And he's like, leaving and not calling you is the biggest mistake I've made. And
he's like,
please forgive me.
can you forgive me? Next scene, yeah, we're in a hotel room. So yeah, she does.
Yep.
And they get into it. And he's like, oh, I don't want to hurt the baby. I don't want to hit the baby.
Yeah. And then she starts laughing.
You thought
The
I was
dingo
pregnant?
ate your baby.
The dingo ate
I
your
can't do it
baby.
today.
The dingo ate your baby.
Fosters.
And then he, Fosters, brought to you by Australia. She's not preggers. And he's like, well, I found the maternity pants and ha ha ha. And he freaked out.
Yeah.
And then I was like, this is not how adults handle things. Like, be an adult.
Grow up. Everyone needs to grow up.
And they laugh it off.
They all
and
just laugh. Yeah.
yeah. She turns around and she's like, oh, you thought that I was preggers and then you still wanted to be with me? I'm like, yeah, but not really though. Like,
you, right.
The first sight of it, he took off. Like, and he didn't talk to you for like a month. Like,
yep. That's right.
So no.
Yep. But then they just wrap up the scene and they're like, we like the same books. And you're like, yep.
All right.
God damn it.
Morning Vegas day shot, Christmas castle shot here.
Yep. She wakes up in bed next to him and calls her voicemail.
And he's still there. OMG.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Paul met the girl of her dreams. Her name's Destiny. She's pretty cool, we imagine. Doesn't matter. Skip to the next one.
Yep.
It's Phil's harmonic.
Phil himself.
She didn't get the gig because her playing style is too uninhibited. My, how things have changed.
Yeah.
Let's really spell it out for you.
How our character has grown.
Mm-hmm.
Our little fiddler's all grown up.
That's right. That's right. So instead of getting that gig, he's like, I got another gig I think that would be good for you. And this is when you would make a joke maybe about the world's smallest violin. You've heard that one before?
I'm playing it right now.
That's right. Usually used to sarcastically indicate that your problems are insignificant.
Yep.
There's actually a tiny violin that's only 1.5 inches long that you can still play.
Really?
That's, I think, the world's smallest violin. About 1.5 inches. Tiny little violin. I'm sure it's adorable. A violin for ants.
These violin facts are brought to you by Stradivarius.
Violins. Big violin.
Big pharma. Big violin. They always win.
Yeah, not the world's smallest.
So then they're getting ready for the wedding. So this is what makes me think
they do a title card 2 months later.
Oh, okay. I was like,
yeah.
Oh, they did. Yeah, okay. I missed that.
Yeah.
Okay.
2 months later, and then it's like, okay, we're at the wedding for Jeff, and
so this is all very confusing to me now, like location wise, because they went to a bachelor
back in New Jersey.
Are they?
It was 2 months before. That was a different bachelor party, unrelated.
Yeah, but then this time and placement stuff doesn't make any sense because they go to a sex convention, which is definitely going to happen in Las Vegas. That's not going to happen in.
You would think
maybe
New York, maybe New York City.
Yeah, maybe I guess. So they go to a sex convention because it's Grant's idea, and he's like, "Oh, I have an idea. Let's go to I have something.
There's
I have
one
something
more thing on the list."
Yeah, and then they go to sex convention. So I was like, "Oh, they must still be in Vegas," and then the wedding's happening. I don't know. And basically, this takes.
They need a porn star.
Yeah, this takes way too long. But yeah, number 11, they scratched off. Meets a porn star.
Yep. And then, so she's in the middle of signing an autograph. And she's like, actually, there's a bigger fan you should make this out to, not Lucy.
Right.
And you're like, oh, well, we know who that is.
Yeah. Because earlier
at the wedding.
Also, I think we kind of missed this little setup, though. But earlier on, when she's in the garage, she puts on the porn video that I think Jeff had.
Yes.
This is the actress. This is the actress that she.
Honey is her name.
Yeah.
Yep. Of course it is.
So then we're at Jeff's wedding.
Yep. At the reception, it seems like we're sitting at a table. Yeah. Having a little chit chat. It's a nerd wedding. Like it's Star Wars themed.
Yeah, she's dressed as Leia and he's dressed as Han Solo. People are dancing poorly. It seems like kind of like a lame wedding, to be honest. But hey, you do you. The Lord's watching, you know?
It's like that Thanksgiving movie we watched where they like just do like a little montage of like people doing stupid stuff. And you're like,
what is going on?
I don't care about this. Cut that.
And then Jeff does this weird switch partners thing. So like his soon-to-be wife is dancing with Grant and he's dancing with Lucy, which...
well, they got to wrap up their,
they conclude their storyline. Yeah, their thing here. So he asks about the list and she's like, hey, I got a gift for you,
Yeah, just wait till you see your wedding gift.
So they come out to like the hall and there's a
He's
pile
like,
of
I gotta
gifts on the
immediately
table.
go get it.
Yeah. And he's like looking around, like, I can't find it. And she's like, oh, here it is. And she hands him like a folder or whatever.
I can't find it. And then that's when Honey walks down the stairs and says, because it's right here. And
That's
I can't
right.
wait
That's
to
right.
give it to you.
Right.
And like hands him an autograph picture. And he's like, I'm married. Oh, and like runs away. Like a little boy.
Yeah. And
then Paul shows up
and sees Honey and is like, oh, hey.
Yeah. And she's like, aren't you going to ask me to dance?
Let's go dance.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah, right. Like, all right, settle down. So yeah, that solves all of that, I think, right?
Yep. And Lucy's like, there's like a quick satisfied look on her face. She's like, oh, I did it. I got revenge or
I don't know. Yeah. Like what? Like
so stupid. Yeah. But then we get a Night City transition.
So yeah, you're right. They got to be back in Jersey because like
it's like New York skyline.
It's definitely not Vegas. So it's New York skyline. But then, so what? This porn star in Vegas, or I guess she's in New York, maybe. I don't know. It's just
they have conventions in New York.
Yeah, nothing. I know, but not the porn ones. The porn ones all happen in Vegas. Anyways, all right. So we got a city night wedding thing going on, and I love how the voiceover from like the DJ at the wedding, which by the way is Chris Rydell.
Oh, is it? Nice.
Yeah, he basically just like, he's like, and they're married and they're
only got a few songs left. Don't forget to tip your bartender.
Like, why is this in here? Why is this here?
I love it though.
Just to remind us that we're still at the wedding and it's nighttime, I guess.
I guess so, yeah.
And Lucy and Grant are hugging and kissing, whatever. And she leans over and whispers something in his ear, and then
which I thought was going to be "I'm pregnant" or something like that.
Yeah, I thought so too. And then, nope, number 12 comes up. Use hot, throbbing kulak in a sentence convincingly.
That's right. And it gets crossed off the list. And
the end.
That's the end.
Wow. We've done, I mean, our whole thing is we do bad movies, but this one's pretty bad.
It's one of the worst I think we've done, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You know what I would have loved? Because it's time to ameliorate.
Yeah, let's do that right now.
I think I would have loved this if it was a silent movie. Just act out all the parts and don't give us any noises at all.
Yeah, because the audio was already bad enough. So just
exactly cut all the audio. Did you know that you can practice silently violin by using a mute? They have violin mutes, which like kind of fits over the bridge. Yep.
Okay.
And that way you don't disturb the neighbors.
We'll get better at these. We'll do better. You know.
Well, we'll see. Maybe not.
No promises. We're not making no promises here. But
so that's one way I think we fix it. Cut the audio.
Yeah.
Including the music videos.
Like an hour and a half is the right time. We like an hour and a half, but how do you make time not feel longer than it is? Like
shave 15 minutes off.
Make an hour and a half feel like an hour and a half, not like 2 hours. I think actually being a little like use your R rating, like lean into like make this like a bridesmaids dirty, kind of gross out kind of comedy with the sex stuff. Like the list you're going through, like there's so much humor to be packed into all of these moments and all these scenes, and like you kind of just lost it.
Yep, that's a good one.
Like none of it's funny. Lean into it. Lean into your R rating.
Get a better leading man.
Yeah, less
Grant.
Grant.
Not interesting or funny.
No, sorry, Grant. Sorry,
I'm sorry.
Leonidas Gulaptis, but
yeah, cool name, bad actor.
yeah. I think intertwining maybe Jeff and her storyline a little bit more, like make them kind of cross paths more. I think for a little more conflict, that'd be good.
Yeah, that would be nice.
And have that like bounce back and come, be a thing. Maybe with Grant. What else?
I don't know. That might be it. Like I feel like you could fix it. Like this could have been funny, maybe, if they just like did it completely differently.
Yeah,
like the premise is like, okay, sure.
Yeah, sure, that's fine. But lean into it. And how'd you get an R rating for this? I don't get that. Like, what is R rated in this?
They had to beg for it.
Maybe there's a director's cut because like they only used the F-bomb once and that was it. And like all the sex stuff is. Are you kidding me? You put on the EBC and see more.
Yeah, pretty mild. So,
use the R.
Get graphic with it.
Yeah, do something.
Yeah, full penetration.
All right, settle down.
All right.
Okay, all right. We're done here.
And that's how we end the episode.
Okay. Well, thanks. He's watching. All right. So thanks for listening. That's it. We're done. We're done here. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with a new movie, Trailer Trash. Meantime, you can follow us on Instagram at It's This Meets That. Subscribe to us wherever you listen to podcasts. Set us to auto download. It's just a button to click, I think.
That's it.
It's just a switch to flip.
Tap, a quick
lever.
tap.
Yeah, a little tick, 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 tick. And if you like the show, tell a friend.
Or tell your presumed enemies in whatever comment section is available on like Apple Podcasts or something. That could be fun.
Yeah.
Maybe 5-star review to go with it. But other than that, say whatever you want. It could be anything.
Yeah.
Give us a recipe for, I don't know, something you like to cook.
Yeah. Right? We'll cook it. We'll eat it.
Yeah. We're cookers.
I mean, we gave you a recipe for my favorite dish, a dinner dish, peanut oysters.
Peanut oyster balls. That's right.
Yeah, peanut oyster balls. That's right.
Peanut butter oyster balls. Yeah. It's got a nice ring to it.
Yeah. If anyone has one of those, just let us know. I'll send you something.
Yeah. Right. If you've got an alternative use for peanut butter, send us an email. It's thismeetsthat@gmail.com. Or go to the website where you can find all the old episodes. We're closing in fast on 300. More info about the show, info about Russ's book Host, which you can buy wherever you buy books, and so much more, all at itsthismeetsthat.com.